Hey, it's Crown Marie, your consumer law educator, educating you on your rights, understanding the laws, and using it to restore your credit from unfair practices of institutions. So today we're going to talk about suing debt collectors, but we're going to first talk about, did you give them a notice to cure before you sue them? And what laws did they violate? You got to know what laws they violated. You got to know what you're suing for before you can go sue somebody. You got to know how to reference to the laws, and you got to know what your remedy is going to be. So we're going to go down to C. So the law we're at right now is 15 U.S.C. 1692C. So we're talking about notifying them. So before we can do anything, we want to notify them. And the law clearly states that. It says cease communication. So if a consumer notifies a debt collector in writing that the consumer refuses to pay a debt, or that the consumer wishes that the debt collector to cease further communication with the consumer, the debt collector shall not communicate further with the consumer with respect to such debt. Okay, so the law is telling you right there, hey, notify them. Okay, if a consumer notify a debt collector, you notice something coming in the mail, they are harassing you, notify them. It says that you can cease and desist. They shall cease and desist. You can notify them to cease and desist. So that's the first thing you want to do before you try to sue somebody, because you got to know that the judge is going to ask, did you try to, handle this outside of court? Do you have proof? So you send them a letter stating, hey, notice to cease and desist. Send them a letter. I refuse to pay this debt. Cease and desist from communicating with me. 30 days go by. They still continue to send you, letters in the mail, call your phone and harass you, or even send your personal information to consumer reporting agencies, and they report information to your consumer report. That's a violation, and that's your exhibits. That's your proof showing that, hey, I tried to, notify them. I tried to cure it outside of court, but yet and still they didn't honor my request. They are still reporting to my consumer profile. This is fraudulent information at that, because you got to remember, they got to get permission to even report on you. Now the law talks about if they violate you and they not stand in honor, they are liable for that. That's civil liability. Okay, so you can sue them because they are not standing in honor. So let's read 1692K and start at A. So it says, amount of damages, except as otherwise provided by this section, any debt collector who fails to comply with any provision of this subchapter with respect to any person is liable to such person in an amount equal to the sum of any actual damage sustained by such person as a result of such failure. A, in the case of any action by an individual, such additional damages as the court may allow, but not exceeding $1,000. So this is what I really want to explain. So this law, a lot of people get mixed up, and so the FDCPA allows the consumer to recover damages up to $1,000 from the debt collector. A lot of us think that it is $1,000 per violation, but that's definitely not the case. Okay, so from what I've learned and what I've experienced, it's only $1,000 per lawsuit. Now, it's very important to search in your state what is the most you can sue for, in small claims court for your state. Every state is different. Like here in Arizona, I can sue up to $3,500. I've seen some states able to sue in small claims court up to $10,000, $5,000. So it depends. Now, the court may grant you the $1,000 for the FDCPA violation if you can prove damages for physical distress or damages for emotional distress. You can possibly get up to the full max of what the court allows you to sue for in small claims court. So if you have relentless telephone calls and multiple letters mailed to your place of dwelling, you can sue them for more than just the violation of the FDCPA. For some people, this can cause serious stress and affect your emotional well-being, including stress-related heart problems or even migraine headaches. This can be a serious thing for some people. I know in the past, before I knew this information, when debt collectors used to call me, I used to go in depression. I used to have depression and have a lot of anxiety. I couldn't think straight. I felt miserable. I felt like worthless. Going into work, you feel worthless. Can't engage with your kids at the park properly because, debt collectors calling you. You're worried about debt. You can't enjoy your life. Some people have filed bankruptcy because they're under the impression that they, have so much debt, or even lost their jobs from debt collectors calling all the time. You got to get real creative when we're talking about damages sustained. Calling family and friends is an invasion of your privacy. So if your blood pressure going up and you having constant headaches, you can't sleep, now you're taking sleeping pills, you need to address all your health concerns to your doctor. Make sure your concerns are documented. That's proof. Those are damages sustained. You want to get creative with telling your story on how it affected you from them violating you. These are the things that's going to hold you in court when you're trying to get more than just that $1,000 violation from the FDCPA. You got to provide your proof and you got to provide your documentation. So the statute of limitation for the FDCPA lawsuit must be within 1 year from the date on which the violation occurred. That's also included in here in this law. So let's go down to jurisdiction. So D, it tells you that. It says an action to enforce any liability created by this subchapter must be brought in any appropriate United States District Court without regard to the amount in controversy or in any other court of the competent jurisdiction within 1 year from the date on which the violation occurred. So you got 1 year within the date that it occurred. It tells you everything. So you need to put these people on notice first before you can go to court. Send them a notice saying, hey, cease and desist from communicating with me, and see if they within 30 days, give it 30 days. If they still contacting you, if you still getting phone calls, keep all of that for your exhibits. People showing up at your door, record them. Hey, put a camera at your door. Keep all your voicemails. You tried to handle it outside of court, but they did not honor your request. Now you know that they are liable because they violated you. It's actually fraud that debt collectors are coming after you, because how did they get your information anyway? You also need to file a complaint with the FTC. They never got permissible purpose from you. You got information reporting on your consumer report without your consent. So you want to make sure that you can provide all of this in court before you sue anybody. To file a complaint, it's about $100. So you want to do your research in your state of how much it costs. But here it's about $100 to file here in Arizona. There's forms that you can get online, or you can just go up to the court and you can fill out the form there to submit your claim. So you just got to do the research for your state. But first you want to make sure that you put these people on notice. You want to know that it's $1,000 per lawsuit, not $1,000 per violation. In order to get the max, you have to prove your case. You gotta let them know how was you violated, what you suffered from due to the cause of this violation. Heart problems, headaches, my blood pressure went up. I lost my job. Those are all things that you can bring into your claim and get paid for it. So do not wait to be great. Continue to study the law, read the definitions, really hold these people accountable, because they don't have the right to come after you. They don't have the right to put this fraudulent information on your consumer report. You have the right to say what should and should not go on your consumer report. It's your report. Don't wait to be great.